Please believe me when I tell you, in all sincerity, that I wish for nothing but an amicable separation. I don't want to enter into any disputes with you about dividing our possessions. I don't want to argue about who gets to keep the cat. Mainly because you are the cat. Three lines on a shirt, jewels remain still gleaming. 30. I thought, so can I stop you there, Dave? What are you singing there? He goes, jewels remain still gleaming. That's that bit of the song that's all about the Queen's crown. I went, what? I said, yeah, Queen's jewels remain still gleaming. It's about the monarch, and it symbolises hope for English football, that despite all of this disappointment, the jewels remain still gleaming in the Queen's crown. I mean, it's Jules Rimet, Dave. Jules Rimet. It's nothing to do with the Queen, nothing to do with the crown. Jules Rimet. The third serving FIFA president, 1921 and 1954, right? He was a quite legendary football figure, and they named the World Cup after him. It was the trophy that England won in 1966, and it was that trophy that Bobby Moore held up to the sun, and then the sun, it's the Jules Rimet still gleaming, the Jules Rimet trophy, the World Cup. That's the thing that's still gleaming, not the Queen's crown, Dave, not the Queen's crown. And he went, no, it's about the Queen's crown. It's not about the Queen's crown. Nothing to do with the Queen's crown or any monarch's crown. Jules Rimet, still gleaming. Jules Rimet. Jules Rimet, not Jules Remain. If you don't know the words, you've got no business singing the words. In fact, sing alternative words. 3 lines on a shirt. Jewels remain still gleaming. I don't know the words. 9 pints left me steaming. Of course, it wasn't fake. You couldn't fake the Apollo moon landings and then keep that a secret all this time. It would be impossible to keep that secret. You'd have to assassinate everyone involved. And on assassinations, Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated John F. Kennedy. No, he didn't. As everyone knows, John F. Kennedy was assassinated by John F. Kennedy. Yeah. It wasn't John F. Kennedy that got assassinated. He was an actor in an all-over John F. Kennedy rubber bodysuit. And the reason that John F. Kennedy faked his own assassination is because he was worried about being assassinated. And so he put an actor called Keith into an all-over John F. Kennedy rubber bodysuit and stuck him in the back of that car in Dallas. It wasn't Jackie Kennedy either. Another actor, Darren, in an all-over Jackie Kennedy rubber bodysuit. Of course, John F. Kennedy after that had to have extensive plastic surgery, so nobody would recognise him as John F. Kennedy, and so he had surgery to make him look like Elvis Presley, who of course didn't die in Graceland in 1977 on the toilet at all. Elvis had already died in 1972, and John F. Kennedy, with plastic surgery to look like Elvis, had taken his place, and John F. Kennedy as Elvis had a lovely set of pipes. I don't believe this. I don't believe this, really. It isn't that we haven't had good times in the past, and we haven't had any cuddles, or I've never bought you a lovely little piece of fish on a Friday. But the trust is gone, Cat. It's gone forever. It started with your cold nose poking down my bum when I wasn't expecting it that morning. That was too far. That was an intrusion of my personal space. Then there was that time you leapt out from behind that curtain and took a vicious swipe at my clackers. And then it escalated. You started to kill things, didn't you? Birds, mice, squirrels. Uncle Derek. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. These dogs are not real dogs, but cuddly toy representations, okay? First important point, stick that in your notebook, yeah? Right, okay. Now, Trixie, and I do a voice for her, and it's like Antonio Banderas out of the Shrek films. Hello, Nigel, give me stuff. I want stuff now. Give me stuff. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Right, she is 2 years old. Loads of energy, jumps up and down, furiously scurries around the house, a complete bundle of laughs and tricks and energy, right? Tug, no, he's been around the block a lot longer and he's a bit knackered and cockney, isn't he? Do you remember? Hello, I'm Tug, and I can't really be bothered to do anything. I'm absolutely shattered. So there comes a point where both dogs want a biscuit, right? Trixie jumps up and down. I want a biscuit, I want a biscuit, give me a biscuit now. Oh yes, I want a biscuit, give me a biscuit. Right, Tug sits there going, oh, I can't be bothered to contribute to this process, I'm going to go over here until I do. Trixie carries on, hello, biscuit, 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 working her backside off, it has to be said. I get out the biscuit tin, I take out a biscuit, and then I feel compelled to give half of the biscuit, or a proportion of the biscuit, to Trixie, and a proportion of the biscuit to Tug, right? Trixie does all the work, should get the full biscuit to distribute amongst her other dog friends as she sees fit. Tug does absolutely no work, but creams off a percentage. Socialism. Capitalism. Woof. Outside the vaccine centre waiting for my second COVID jab. Yeah. AstraZeneca. AstraZeneca, of course, named after AstraZeneca, the Greek goddess of vaccines. Unless Wikipedia is lying to me. I think one of Zeus's daughters, maybe his fourth daughter, there was Athena, Aphrodite, Debbie, AstraZeneca, married to Hermes, Greek god of dumping stuff on your doorstep and then driving away. Even though you tell him, you know, if I'm out, wheelie bin, back of the house. Actually, I think my Uncle Dave, my mad Uncle Dave, he might have driven a Vauxhall AstraZeneca during the 1970s. It was a blue car, fluffy dice in the front, go faster stripes, leopard skin interior, a complete wreck, huge problems with the back end, not just my Uncle Dave, also his car. Completely agree, Nigel, about personal choice and common sense, and as I know you do, Darren, you're the one standing in Leicester Square with a flare up your arse. And he said, well, it's my personal choice to have this flare up my arse. And I said, I know. And it's my personal choice, Darren, not to have a flare up my arse and to stand 20 feet away from you. Darren says flares are just like masks. I go, how so? How so, Darren? He says, well, people see me with a flare up my arse and they're going to keep their distance, aren't they? You know, for their own protection. So, you know, masks are a bit similar. I said masks are nothing like a flare up your arse, Darren. He said, yes, they are, Nigel, because if I'm wearing a mask, people are going to know there's some vulnerability, some concern, and they're going to come and keep their distance. And it's the same as having a flare up your arse. I said, no, it's not, Darren. Imagine the situation. You're on a bus, right? You're on a bus, it's a confined space. People aren't going to be able to keep their distance from you, are they? And Darren said, but I'd never stuff a flare up my arse on a bus, Nige. I know this letter will be hard for you to understand, mainly because you're a cat. I have resolved to lock myself in this man cave, the only place of safety for me now. The only place where you cannot reach me. Doors locked, windows shut. It is my final, desperate act of defiance. I shall write again soon, possibly through my solicitor. No win, no fee. Sincerely, your former owner, Nigel Clifford Dimmock. Flipping heck, I was drunk last night. What a load of cobblers that is. Dead mouse.